Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
What's up, guys? It's the AwesomeCast, episode 14. We are back, another late night edition for you guys joining us live. A lot of people in the chat room. And we got a lot going on tonight, a lot to talk about, and a very special guest. First, let's go through. Joining me, as always, well, that's wrong, Rob De La Cretaz. How you doing tonight?
Hey there, hi there, ho there. It is late. I am tired.
So you're loving these late night shows, huh?
I really am. This one is totally my fault, but
Yes.
I'm not loving it anymore.
I think you're going to rethink that next time we do this. And also on the audio line is Tony Chachi Walker has joined us. He was supposed to be on video there behind my head, but Linux decided to take a dive on that machine. So
you broke it.
I broke it. I know it's been a long night. It went to bed early for me. So he's joining us audio wise to talk about some things, and yeah, there you go. And joining us first time on the show is, oh no, I lost all your stuff. Steven, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now you're over at the techbuzz.net. Can you tell us real quick what's going on over there?
We're just doing covering different tech news on all types of tech, whether it be mobile, whether it be Linux, Windows, Mac OS 10. Well, not really Mac OS 10. Everything's iOS now. Nobody's really focusing on Mac OS 10. Touching on some gaming, just about a little bit of everything.
Excellent. So he's going to be joining us. We're going to talk more about his show, and of course he's going to be joining us at PodCamp Pittsburgh. We're all looking forward to that. So let's get right into the news. And to my dismay, we're going to talk about Apple rumors.
Yay!
Because tomorrow's the announcement, guys. So
It's important.
Oh man, it's important. So if you're listening past like one tomorrow, we're probably completely wrong. But it's decided we there's some pretty interesting articles out there that won't load for me right now. There's one that took an interesting look at this. Of course, we're all expecting ITV, even though there's no indication other than rumors that this is going down. Stephen, you talked about it a lot today on your Mac and Tuesday show. So you're probably more up to date on it than I am right now. So what's the latest out of the gate that we're expecting tomorrow?
Well, right now, the rumors that have been flying around is a 4 centimeter by 4 centimeter iPod Nano update was originally rumored to be replacing the current iPod Nano, but the latest is that it's not going to. They're going to keep the same price point on that. A lot of people are speculating new iPod Touches front-facing camera, essentially looking just like iPhone 4. I'm thinking that we're going to see at least both of those. I'm also very confident that I think we're going to see iOS 4 for the iPad, or at least an announcement alluding to when we're going to get it. Mm-hmm. And I'm about 1% sure that we're going to see iOS 4.1 announcement for the iPhone. I don't think it's quite ready yet. And hopefully maybe an iLife update. That's my hope.
Let's see, we've noticed, like, I think there's been discussion before that there hasn't been any. Like, we've usually heard an iLife update by now, haven't we?
I'm sorry?
I thought I've heard before that there usually is an iLife update by this time of year.
They expected one back in June, and yet we haven't seen it. And I was kind of really, really looking forward to it. Rumors said also that we may not see one this year at all. Mm-hmm. So I think there's just a lot of hype and speculation. I don't think we're going to see a streaming iTunes. CNN kind of kiboshed that earlier today for a streaming service. And I really don't think we're going to see an ITV. I don't think Steve Jobs is putting that much emphasis into that, simply because we can stream content with our iPhones and iPads to the TV. I don't know. I'm kind of I'm on the fence with that.
So we might have some very disappointed people tomorrow. So because everybody's hedging their bets on it.
Yeah,
I'd be really excited for it. Like if it came out, it would be almost an instant buy for me. And it does. If it does come out, it would represent a huge change in the paradigm of how we handle television shows. But like you said, there isn't much evidence behind it besides speculation and rumors. I won't be surprised if it doesn't come out. I'll be super happy if it does. Otherwise, like Steven said, pretty much iPod and iLife updates is what I'm expecting, and information about iOS 4 on the iPad makes sense.
Excellent. Now, like I mentioned about odds, this was an interesting article over 148 apps about what will be announced and the odds for it. New iPod Touch, of course, even money. iOS 4.1, like you mentioned, Steve, odds are even. 4.1 on the iPad, 8-1. Updated Apple TV or iTV 5-1, which actually is kind of better than. Well, I think this was written before some of those stories that came out putting a kibosh on it, so that might have changed. So TV show rentals odds 3-2. 7-inch iPad 10-1. I still can't believe that's happening with the 7-inch iPad. I just don't see a place for it. But then again, we've been proven wrong before. So
we have a miniature iPad.
It's yeah.
It's called the iPhone.
Yeah, there you go. As like really is 2 inches really going to make a difference on this? Or isn't that basically an Evo or something? So
this is just people starting rumors. We're not going to see a 7-inch iPad. Not today, not tomorrow. It's just not in Apple's marketing. I really, different people that I've talked to, they just kind of chuckle at that.
Mm-hmm. Isn't the Dell, the Dell Streak was 7 inches, and it just looks
awkward. That's what I was just thinking of. That's the only device that really represents that middle ground of size.
Mm-hmm. So updated iLife 2-1, MacBook Air update. Why would they stick that here? No. 8-1, 4-1. I don't see that going anywhere. So there you go. We'll find out at 1:00 Eastern time tomorrow, at least. So or do you guys think there's gonna be another surprise? Is there any wild speculation? Why not? We talked about this last week. Let's do the wild speculation. Are we gonna have what? Is it gonna be an Apple guitar?
I'm looking for a Johnny Ive themed underwear, maybe socks.
Johnny Ive themed underwear.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They will be streaming the event live tomorrow.
Oh, they are officially.
They are officially. It's on the Apple website.
Fantastic.
Is Steve gonna be there?
I think it's pretty much a foregone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Steve's going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm not watching.
Okay, Android fanboy. The only Android fanboy we got.
You're outnumbered. Watch your words.
You're hopefully clutching that G1 still, aren't you? So
what's that?
You're hopefully clutching your G1 there.
I am. I was checking Twitter.
You're checking Twitter?
Even though I have it up on my screen, I was checking it on my phone.
Awesome. Well, kind of going along with that, we talked about, I think, Steven, you mentioned the streaming iTunes service with everything coming out, whether that would be kind of work. YouTube is pushing for a pay-per-view movie service by end of 2010, courting Hollywood for that. I actually was looking around because I was looking at some of the options for partnership programs on YouTube, and they found the information for the beta program. So it's very real out there. So what do you think about this? What do you think about like YouTube? YouTube's in TVs as far as like applications and everything, and some of the HD sets out there. Of course, it's available on all of our phones, I think, in one form or another. Could this be a game changer for that, or is it, could it kind of start to eclipse Hulu in that regard? Chachi, I heard you sighing.
Oh, I was paying attention to the chat room in which you should make me an admin.
Okay, no problem, man.
Sorry. This whole we're on YouTube now, right?
Yeah, YouTube, the YouTube Hollywood thing. Okay.
Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. The idea of pay-per-view shows is definitely something we're headed to. And YouTube has actually been doing like rental shows for a while, but nobody's been paying attention, so this might actually bring it to the forefront of their business.
Excellent. Sorry.
You know what? Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
Well, on the talk of the Apple TV / the Google TV, the YouTube streaming content and whatnot, renting at, we had a discussion slightly today about, do you see the demise of cable with these streaming services? Do we really need a set-top box to stream this content? I mean, the gentleman here that has the Android device, I'm sure you have if not have the cables, going to purchase the cables to connect to your TV, to stream like Netflix or whatever. Do you really want to have a set-top box to do that?
I don't need one. The way I have my system set up now is my computer monitor is actually my actual TV. So anything I want to watch from online, I just switch over to the input.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm someone that we've talked about before is I have an old laptop hooked up as my media center and an Xbox and whatever that brings. So I kind of not the regular use case, but I do have discussions with my boss at work was looking for alternatives for television in his house, and I brought up the Roku box, which and he's not like a tech savvy person, So, I mean, if for somebody that a media PC is a little more daunting, having to build in the TV kind of opens that up to them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is that once you tell a regular user, like everybody in the current conversation excluded, that you're going to take your phone and hook it up to your TV, you've already lost them, and there's no market there. But if it's already built into the TV, like there's certain Samsung TVs, I think, where you can like access Facebook and YouTube right from within the TV. Or it's something as simple as buy this thing, plug it into your TV, and you're done. You never have to touch it ever again. It updates itself. It connects wirelessly or through whatever service. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to know anything about tech to do it. Whereas once you have to connect cables to something you usually have in your pocket, like that interrupts one service to start another service. And I think that's where you lose, like, buying this device for your mom for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's where Netflix has really picked up. It's just it's everywhere at this point. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, also on the iPhone, what just came out this week kind of surprised me because it came out the day I didn't have internet at work. Ironically enough, so I've been playing with it. It's smooth. It loads great on 3G here in the Pittsburgh area. And I've discovered, since they put Comedy Central Presents on YouTube, all like 240 some episodes, I have like a small, like, I can hook it up to my radio in the car and listen to comedy whenever I want. It's been really nice. So, which I've done on the multitude of driving trips I've had to do this past weekend. So don't watch the video. That's not safe, kids. But but I mean, that's awesome. I have my Netflix queue like on the road. If I'm on the bus, when the car breaks down, I've considered it's like, okay, now I can go to the park 2 blocks away and sit and watch an episode of Invader Zim or something. I mean, it feels like it opens it up so much for something I'm already paying for. So.
Oh, I agree. If you can give me instant access to Netflix,
mm-hmm.
I'm sold.
Like,
the more places I can access Netflix, the better off everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for those of us that have iPhones, iPads, Android devices, whatever, Netflix is just an extension. I mean, we don't have to store content on our phones, video content. Mm-hmm. We just log into our account, and so 16 gigabytes of storage for these devices is more than ample by just accessing it. I unlike Michael here, have a good 3G in my area, so I resort to Sprint MiFi, and I just carry that with me wherever I go, so I can access Netflix, from whatever device I have with me.
Yeah, my boss actually, my one boss manager actually lives out in Hershey, and I think he got an iPad, and he has the Droid X, I think it was, and he just MiFi's into it, so he didn't have to get the 3G version. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Now there's a story in here, Chachi. You actually added this in before the show.
Yeah, I meant to send it to you earlier.
No problem, man. So what's going on with Google?
Well, I don't know how it happened, but I ended up following this realty company on Twitter.
Are you looking for a house?
No. Actually, they're quite entertaining when they're not talking about buying houses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why they're still there. That and I haven't cleaned my list in a while.
Okay.
But there's an article on TechCrunch where in the Midwest and West, Google has spent $86 million along with U.S. Bancorp to create low-income housing.
So, are they running ads in these houses?
Probably.
At this point.
Like the paint job is all blue, red, yellow, green.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
It's a Google toilet, and I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the way the funding works is Google was chosen to invest through a bank administered tax credit program, so it is considered an investment it's all outside of Mountain View, and it includes a $19 million investment for a 124-unit senior housing complex in Sunnyvale.
Right.
That's exciting.
Rob has to come in with all the important information.
Just trying to help.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I just thought it was really cool. I mean,
yeah, I don't think anybody was talking about it. It was a pretty cool thing, and they're helping out.
right.
Not a lot of news to it, but
it doesn't help take away from the
Everybody's
the Internet Act, but
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Google just wants to own everything.
Yeah.
right, I'm just losing it right now.
Forget net neutrality. Look over here. We're helping old people.
We're helping old people.
That's my summary of the story.
We're helping old people. We might be listening to your phone calls if you use our thing. But of course, with the Google talk in our Gmail, has anybody while we're on Google and Gmail and their call thing, did anybody else get the priority email update today?
I did not. I looked for it desperately because I really want it.
I was kind of introduced to it because I got into work, logged into my stuff, got into my Gmail, and music kept playing. And I couldn't understand where it was coming from. And it happened every time I opened Gmail. Apparently, that nice little video, the little cartoon to introduce the service, automatically played in Chrome on the Mac in the drop-down that I couldn't see.
Huh.
Invisibly. So I had just the music playing. Weirding me out first thing in the morning when I was tired enough, right? But, I added it as I'm pretty sheepish to just added anything that Gmail tells me, because why not? It'll just bother me anyways, right? And oddly, I got used to it during the course of the day, which I don't know if that's a good thing at this point. So,
well, we all know how I feel about Google, so if Gmail adds something, I'm probably going to try it.
For those that haven't checked it out, it's basically they've applied what they know about algorithms for the spam filters, which everybody pretty happy with, and they said, well, we can figure out what positive emails are too, or high priority emails, and it'll split your inbox, your vision of the inbox of high priority, starred, and then all the rest. And as you go through, it seems to do a pretty good job of seeing what's high priority kind of stuff that you would want to get into. And you can just knock the rest of the stuff down, and I guess it'll learn over time. So, I mean, the little, Zazzle newsletters and GoDaddy newsletters all dropped below. I got Facebook updates, and anything actually having to do with PodCamp or this show or playing for other podcasts actually popped up on the high priority with very little in between. And we'll see how that goes through the next few days. So, but nobody else has tried this out yet, though?
I don't have it yet.
Yeah, I don't have it yet either.
Oh, I'm the lucky few.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, I haven't used it either.
Fantastic. But they didn't force you to it. They just put an annoying pop-up in music that I couldn't stop this morning. So I'm the beta tester, apparently.
You're the guinea pig.
I am the guinea pig, definitely. So I'm going to hate it by tomorrow this time. Watch. But another guy, Paul Allen, sues pretty much everybody. He sues Apple, Google, Facebook, AOL, eBay, Netflix, Yahoo, Staples, Office Max, Office Depot, YouTube, and I hear a rumor, maybe the Dollar General down the street at this point. What the hell is this guy doing?
He's finally lost it.
I really like the way Dwight Silverman approached it, because what he's doing is he's basically filing using his company, which used to actually be a tech company, Interval Licensing at this point, which I think right now is just like a patent vault. And he's claiming that the technology used to recommend products, basically, I see you like this thing, so maybe you'll like this other thing. He's claiming that he has, he does have a patent on this, and he's claiming that all of the above listed companies are infringing on this patent. Which is a pretty ridiculous thing, considering, like, how deeply involved that idea is in so many different products. And I think what this is a great example of how flawed the software patenting system is. And Silverman's idea was that perhaps, because at this point, Alan is kind of made of money, he might just be using all of this money to file a completely outrageous lawsuit against some of the, well, really the biggest players in tech, except for Microsoft, in order to bring to light how absurd software patents is, and maybe it could set a precedent for, you know what, maybe it's time we rethought the way we look at the patent system.
Yeah, I thought it was the interesting, was it? Yeah, it was Adam Curry, I think, that was talking about how he's the greatest patriot if he pulls this off.
Yeah, he really,
to completely defraud the entire, show how worthless the entire patent industry is by this lawsuit, which is pretty.
If Paul Allen can pull this off, if that's actually what he's trying to do, he will become one of, like, my top 5 favorite people of all time. If this isn't what he's trying to do, then he's, like, the 5 dumbest people of all time.
This was the perfect week for them to get the conspiracy theorists on This Week in Tech this week.
Well, see, my whole thought on it is, in the article it says that he's promised to donate half of his wealth, like Bill Gates did. So what I think he's trying to do, because he spent all of his money on things I can't name on this G-rated show.
We try.
I think he's just trying to raise money to keep his agreement.
Well, I mean, the way he's going about it and the topic that he's going after, this is a good way to drain his money, not a good way to raise it.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not going to make any money going after any of these companies. Well, maybe Office Depot and Office Max, but aside from that, he's only going to lose money fighting endless legal battles. And just about every company listed has said that they will fight this vigorously. He should just tie up the courts for quite a long time.
He kind of sues Google twice, I see here. Yeah. Google and YouTube. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's bored.
Look at that picture in the article of him with the guitar. He's obviously looking for something to do.
Right.
Well, don't these patents have an expiration date? Like, I mean, does he really honestly think that he's going to have a leg to stand on? I mean, with these companies, I'm sure somewhere in the contract that he signed with these companies or whatever, that they put in there that, you know, we own the rights to this or we retain it. I mean, I don't know what they would have put in there, but I mean, is this just a publicity stunt? I mean,
yeah, it's anybody's guess. He hasn't made any statements beyond, I'm filing these patents through Interval Licensing. He's using a legal team, which is 3 schmoes that nobody really knows anything about. The biggest case they're known for is working on the oil spill. But besides that, they have nothing to do with tech. They have no chance of winning against any of these companies, except for maybe Office Max.
They're not experts in this sort of
exactly.
law game, really.
Yeah. So, which is what really leads me to think that Silverman is right, and that this whole thing is more of a ploy to draw attention to a much bigger problem.
So
yeah, right.
Or maybe in a few years it'll be a major motion picture with Matt Dillon in it. That's what he wants. He wants Matt Dillon to play him in a movie, and he figured, if those Facebook guys could do it.
Right.
Speaking of movies, has anybody been on Chat Roulette lately? Oh, wait.
Wait, let me put my pants back on.
If you guys check out our friends over at techberg.com posting, and this has been a few different places. The Last Exorcism, which just came out this weekend or last weekend, somewhere roundabouts. There's been a pretty cool campaign of a lot of shows have been talking about this, where apparently they put these viral videos up on Chat Roulette and gotten the reactions to them. There's a sexy girl taking her clothes off, like sometimes we do after the AwesomeCast, and but then she turns into a demon and freaks people out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. She's very, very convincing, and then her eyes roll into the back of her head, and there's 2 or 3 different clips, and then her head spins and her neck kind of cracks in two, and then she flies into the screen.
Yes. This is probably one of the best viral marketing campaigns I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it is pretty fantastic, and I feel sorry for the people who are surprised and or confused.
Mm-hmm. So, and along with that, the announcement that Chat Roulette 2 came out. So, we'll be checking that out this weekend.
Oh, you know what? I loved it. I laughed my ass off. I was in the middle of a call, and I watched the video of all these reactions, and it was just perfect.
Yeah,
it was great, because, I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, so all these chicks or all these people are trying to get this chick to take her top off, and she just turns into demon.
But yeah, it definitely got passed off the office and around the office in my area too. So, all right, guys. So that's the news we had lined up for this week. So real quick, let's touch on our sponsor. We got a new affiliate. No books this week. We are against reading this week, but please, we still have the links and everything for Audible.com. The free book offer still applies, so please go over to AwesomeCast.com or SorgatronMedia.com and check that out. But we got a new affiliate. This is actually somebody that I use. I abide the entire Sorgatron Media empire is backed up on here. Backblaze.com. If you're not backing up outside of your house, then you are at risk. And if you do a lot of important media stuff like we do, whether it's you're into photography like Rob, or video production like me and Steve here, or you have an amazing collection of things we can't talk about on the show like Chachi, right. You want that backed up so you don't lose it. And Backblaze.com, I've been with them for over a year now. I have a few terabytes of stuff stored, and with one computer for $5 a month, it's unlimited. They actually had a 4 gigabyte cap on the files you could upload, which was a little problem for some of the bigger renders, like my 1.5 to 2 hour Wrestling Mayhem show renders, but they just upped that to 9 gigabytes. So you bigger media professionals can enjoy that. I have to double check. I think there might be a free trial offer, but again, we're still new to this. Using them, but there is a link over on AwesomeCast.com. There'll be one over on SorgatronMedia.com. Please, if you want to try it out, again, just $5 a month. I think it's $60 a year if you buy it a year. Yeah, I'm still getting the information. But go check that out. I swear by them. There's some great stuff on their blog that they put up, and I actually pushed this to my boss when we were talking about some storage for internal stuff, since we deal with a lot of backlog video with our projects. And it actually shows you how they made their cheap storage arrays in their blog. It's really cool, if you're somebody who wants to take on a project like that, or just see where, how they do it, how they make it so cheap. Go check it out. It's Backblaze.com. Please click the link. Support the show over on AwesomeCast.com, SorgatronMedia.com. So, and thanks to them for affiliating with us. So, well, let's get right into it. Again, Steven, great for you to join us again at this late hour. I apologize. We're all a little bonkers for it.
That's okay.
So you heard the show preceding this. So obviously I'm exhausted. Well, you do the Tech Buzz. Well, that's the wrong title there. There you go. You do the Tech Buzz up there. In Sharon, PA. How did you get started? How long have you been doing this?
Oh man, I've been doing this. It'll be 3 years in March that I've been doing this, and I just started like everybody else, just sat down. I saw some people that are some, big time people and doing this. And I said, I know a little bit about it a little bit, and thought I'd get in front of a camera and, and try to do my thing,
Excellent.
And I like I told you in pre-show, I had gotten started actually about an hour north of Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not originally from around here. My wife is. And so coming out here actually kind of opened up a little bit more doors for me, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now, you mentioned you're from, a bit north of Pittsburgh, Sharon, PA. I'm from up and around the Greenville area. I actually escaped it because I didn't, see much future in the tech, and, as far as doing anything I wanted to do. Yet I find that there's a lot of people up there, doing programming, doing a lot of tech industry stuff. Is there a tech really scene up there? I mean,
no, not so much. I mean, as far as like doing like meetups and tweet ups and stuff like that, social media, it's all done in your bigger cities. In fact, we were kind of making a joke today on the show, a lot of these people up here, even some of my neighbors, they don't even have a computer. So, we kind of sit there and we kind of chuckle about that. It's like, really? You don't have a computer? I'm sitting here with like 15 surrounding me here, and my neighbor doesn't have a computer. Not because they can't afford it, but because they see no need for it. And so that's kind of the mentality of the folks around here. And, so when they come in here and see my studio, they ask me if I'm preparing to take over the world. And I'm like, well, no, I produce an internet show, and you can do that on the internet. It's that mentality.
Yeah. I think I have the same. When we go back to the in-laws, they ask if I'm on the radio. I'm like, well, it's kind of the radio on the internet. And actually, every time I visit my grandfather who lives around here, I have to explain to him exactly what it is I do in my spare time. So I definitely can relate to that.
Listen, the only reason my dad has a computer is because it was cheap, and he's still on dial-up.
And he lives in the town.
Right. Mm-hmm. He's using dial-up from a company I don't even work for anymore. That I am getting for free.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you used to work for that dial-up company back in the day. So... Excellent. So, now, getting into the podcasting and everything, your PodCamp coming up, we always have a discussion, the last couple of years about how, not as many people seem to be getting into podcasting, lately. It seems like the landscape has changed. Of course you put a lot of production into your show. I mean, the show looks great. You have a studio. It looks like you have an entire room dedicated to your production up there.
I believe it or not, I actually do. When we bought this house, it had an attic, and when I went up there, I said, this has potential. My studio is actually 15 by 22 foot. It is an attic, so you can see the contour of the ceilings a little slanted. But my dad has some carpentry skills, so he said, how about I come out for 2 weeks and we'll build your studio? And I says, sounds great. We had money put aside for it, and meanwhile it adds value to the house. We insulated everything, and then he ran some heavy duty wiring so I wouldn't blow any circuits and set it up in the board. And I think a lot of people don't realize the potential in podcasting / vlogging or video podcasting. And a lot of people, they do go in with the mentality that, I'm going to turn into a Leo Laporte or somebody of that nature. And what they don't realize is it takes money, it takes time, and it takes, having a good following. And, a lot of things what we talk about on the show too is if you don't have a passion for it, if you go into it thinking that, I'm going to make a whole mess of money out of this, you've already beat yourself because you're doing it for the wrong reason. And, the perks are nice. I mean, sponsorship money comes along. I mean, I make, some money doing it. Enough to feed my family? No. Enough to put back into the show? Yeah. Pay my internet bill, a little bit of my electric bill, from the funds for advertisement. But I never dreamed that was going to happen with doing that. I'm just doing something I'm passionate about.
And
Right.
oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to agree with them that just getting together and talking about something that you like so much
Mm-hmm.
with people, or knowing that people are out there listening to your opinions and thoughts on things that you share a passion for, is almost worth it in itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, making a difference in somebody's life. I mean, you yourself, could do something and people are going to subscribe to you because they like the way that you present it. They like the way that you don't treat them like they're absolutely ignorant to technology, and you dumb it down for less of a term. Mm-hmm. You make it so that it's enjoyable for them, which might have been something that was very hard for them to understand, or something that was just seemed out of their grasp, a concept of understanding. And so they're going to watch you over, say, somebody that's really, really popular, because you got that opportunity with the chat room here and you know, Twitter, and you respond to them and you're able to interact with them, and you don't treat them like they're this big.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
huge.
Now you got a pretty, you know, we're trying to, you know, here feature people kind of around the area, show people that just because we're not in New York City and San Francisco, you know, Pittsburgh's not just a flyover state, that there's a lot happening here. You got a pretty, a varied, cast of people that just show up from what I've seen of your show. You know, how's that community come together for you?
I mean, like, how did I get the community, or the people, the guests?
The guest wise and everything.
Well, really, you know, a lot of times people think that, you know, when you do a show that you don't look at any other shows. They just automatically assume that you would never be in the chat room. Mm-hmm. And I'm always going around, and I may not come into the chat room as the Tech Buzz. I may come under my other alias. And just because I don't want to take away the attention from the host of the show, I'm not saying I'm big or anything. It has nothing to do with that, but I don't want, you know, in the Ustream and Justin TV community, they know the name. I mean, let's face it. And so whether they know good things or bad things, or they just seen the show, I want to keep the focus on the host, and I'll go in and I'll say, oh, wow, that guy knows a lot about Linux or Windows. I'd like to have him on the show. I'll send him an invite. But then I also look at my other guests to see that I had planned that week, and see, well, are these guys going to kind of say, like, is my tech bigger than their tech, like, type attitude? If I have two guys like that, I know not to put them on the same show together, because it's going to be a comparison battle. Like, I know more about this subject than you do. Mm-hmm. And I try to avoid that at all costs.
Are there turf wars? I noticed with the wrestling shows, there seems to be a little bit of turf wars. I'm a very open, like, you know, obviously you're another tech show, we're a tech show, you know, we're just getting started and everything, you know, but, you know, I'm a big believer in the community, you know, but then there's like, one guy on our wrestling show, Mad Mike, goes on another network. I honestly just can't remember the name of the other network where I plugged them to. And they say, well, you can mention the other show once. You know, and there's not that turf war with the tech community as much.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes, there can be. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately it happens. I guess it's how it is, because everybody wants to succeed. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to, you know, everybody wants to make a name for themselves. Everybody wants to get bigger. It's unfortunate, really. People are going to be people, and people are going to, you know, like you said, the turf war, you're going to have it, whether it's jealousy, if you get a recognition because of maybe you have a guest on that's known worldwide, and, you know, they're jealous of you. So they're going to obviously try to make trouble for you. I mean, it happens. It's just how it is.
Excellent. And of course, you know, speaking you we got PodCamp Pittsburgh coming up. I'm very excited to hear that you were coming, you know. But so you know, you're going to get a look into our little community down here in Pittsburgh. What do you have in store for us? Little community. Yeah.
You know, in the 3 years that I've been here, I've never been to Pittsburgh.
Oh, geez.
And I'm a huge Penguins fan. So I'm kind of like excited to go, and basically my topic of discussion for PodCamp Pittsburgh is how to build a brand in social media, just based on my experience. Not saying I have all the answers, but kind of go over some of the mistakes that I made. If you come up with a good name for your blog or your show or your business or whatever you're going to do, the steps to take to secure it, that kind of thing, stuff that probably most people don't put a lot of thought into. It's just like, wow, I got a great idea. I'm throwing it out to Twitter. Next thing you know, somebody else is stealing your name or stealing something or, so I'm going to kind of approach it from that angle and building it from the foundation, from the ground up.
Excellent. Yeah. We actually got lucky with this one. Rob actually had the AwesomeCast.com.
Yeah.
He's the branding genius here. So there he is.
That's my input in its entirety.
That was your input.
So you both going to be down there at PodCamp? Both of you guys?
Yeah, we kind of have to be at this point.
Yeah, we're both lead organizers.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Okay.
So
there's only last year we had 30 lead organizers, and this year we have 5.
Oh wow.
Well, that's just because you guys are awesome.
We're efficient.
Yeah.
We're definitely efficient. Yeah. I'm looking forward to of course, I'm doing the podcasting 101 and 201. So I hope you're around to tell me what I'm wrong about.
Hey, same here, man. I mean, I'm no different than you. I just I just want to share. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this. I have a passion about it. And knowing now that you guys are not that far, I mean, if there's ever a time that you guys want to come up, my studio is kind of laid out like Leo's is a little bit. I've got open seats here in studio. I think it would be kind of cool to do a Pittsburgh area show of podcasts or whatnot. I think it would be fun.
I'm coming up in a couple weeks to catch that demo derby up in Jamestown. I don't know.
Hey, let me know. Shoot me an email, man. You can do it. I've had a guest that I met on the show that lived in Ohio that actually used to come in all the time. He came in studio and we did the show, my Thursday show actually. And he came for Fridays when he wasn't caught out of town doing jobs or whatnot. And yeah, we did everything from here, and I think that's going to make it more exciting to be able to bring people in. Skype's cool. I mean, I do that a lot, but there's just something about having a round table, a discussion with people in studio that just changes a whole atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, we've seen that. We've seen that also with the wrestling show. We've had the fortune of some of our fans becoming part of the show. We've had a visitor from England. Within our first year, and in Texas, the one kid from Texas that now helps us host the show. I love the outreach of the community that podcasting's brought to us. That's kind of when I want to preach a PodCamp, because it just feels like everybody's gone into let's use Twitter, let's use blogging and everything, and I think there's still this kind of area for personalities to get out with shows like yours and this and everything, and outreach to that community and the chat room and the interaction.
Can I throw something out there for you guys? Since you guys are organizers of PodCamp, I was going to save it for the show on Thursday when you guys were on. Mm-hmm. But a couple of my sponsors are offering some sponsored materials for PodCamp for those that come to my session. And the software that I use to do my show is called Wirecast, and I'm going to be giving away a free copy of that. For those that come to my session, and anybody, even if you guys are affiliated with PodCamp, if you're at the session, you have the ability to win it for Mac or PC. Throwboy, I don't know if you've ever heard of Throwboy, throwboy.com. He's going to be sending some geek pillows along with me, that, we're also going to be giving away. And we're also going to be giving away some t-shirts that are geek t-shirts from mighttees.com. And so we're gonna have a whole mess of stuff. I think Super Anti-Spyware is gonna be sending some spyware professional licenses and stuff for folks that are gonna be down there. So I think it'll be fun. I think you guys will.
That's awesome. Yeah, I caught a little bit about some of the stuff you had organized for that with your sponsors. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to do that. To a certain point, we're playing with new affiliates and everything all the time. And as we grow our fan base here to figure out how we can make this sustainable, because it really just came from we've done a wrestling show for almost 5 years just because we like hanging out on Tuesday nights and talking about wrestling. But, it'd be nice to, turn it into something a little bit more, and at least support all this stuff here.
Oh,
that
yeah,
keeps
definitely.
breaking, like tonight. So that's great. And actually, I'd love to have, we had a little bit of discussion. Of course, you use Wirecast. I use Boinks TV for this switching here, which I think is going slow tonight. So I might be in the market for a new one. So I'd love to, have that one-on-one discussion, at PodCamp about that. We've had a little bit on the PodCamp board and everything. So I'm really looking forward to it. So again, the techbuzz.net. I keep going to .com by accident. To check out all your stuff. You actually have 3 shows a week, I think.
I do 3 shows a week. Tuesdays are all Mac show. Thursdays kind of like our week in tech news, like anything that goes on. Sometimes I change it up. Fridays is what I call free for all. Like this week we have a show. We've got some credentials for him to go to a racetrack in New Jersey to talk about some bike tech with the Superbike community. You guys probably see him on the Speed Channel and whatnot, these Superbike racers. So he's going to be interviewing the bikers about the tech that they use, the type of phones they use, and all around just the tech that goes involved with Superbike racing. So it's going to be pretty cool. We also have a social network site called thegeekswrite.com, and you guys can become a community and member and talk to anybody that's in there that maybe likes your forte. I mean, if you guys join and say, hey, we're going to put a wrestling group in here, that's great too, just kind of bring everybody together in a centralized location.
Excellent. And of course, you'll be at PodCamp Pittsburgh, September 18th and 19th. And
yeah, I'm relocating my birthday because of PodCamp.
Yeah, I heard about that. There's a lot of stuff happening that week.
It is. The volunteer meeting's on Wednesday.
We might have
my
cake.
Birthday is.
There might be cake there. You don't know.
The cake's a lie. Everyone knows the cake's a lie.
Awesome. Well, Stephen, thanks for joining us. I guess we'll continue this. Of course, we'll be over there Thursday. Me and Norm Hilsman of the Strom Hilsman podcast and representing AIP in this whole venture. Our Institute of Pittsburgh, of course, for those that aren't local. And we'll be hearing about a lot from that. Of course, we're doing a live AwesomeCast there, so we can see if we can break things in person. So, it'll be a lot of fun. And, I always learn new things from other podcasters at PodCamp, even as long as I've been doing this, and it's a great time. So.
Wait, you're doing a live AwesomeCast?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's on the schedule, man.
It's on the schedule.
I haven't memorized the schedule yet.
All right. So, all right. Hey, thanks a lot. Where are we at? It's the end of the show. It's far too late at night, and
Yeah, but you know what? It's still a high quality show.
Oh,
it is a high quality show.
I'm sure. Well, guys, we'll see you, Stephen. I can't see the show for life.
Wow.
Hey,
okay.
Rob,
So
why don't you end the show?
You can contact us, right? Right? That's where we're headed here.
Contacting you. You can contact us.
Yes, us.
Us at
contact at awesomecast.com.
See, on the other show, I can just start swearing and end the show and do whatever I want and start yelling. I can't do that on this show. So we're still figuring that out.
We have the Google Voice number, yes, which is... Mike, come on.
Button's not working. There it is, 724-258-CAST, 724-252-2278. And you can check all that out. We're on the Twitters, we're on the Facebook, we have sponsors on the website, and all that fun stuff. And I want to be adding a new session, how to not do a podcast when you're tired, at PodCamp Pittsburgh 5, because I'm not doing enough with 6 sessions. So go check that out. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Chachi, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
There you go. Look for something new from Chachi we're working on. As if I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that much.
Yeah, that's right. That's going to be easy.
So it'll be rather easy.
So, all right.
I should have that to you by tomorrow.
That is the AwesomeCast, and we'll see you guys next week.